Hey guys, welcome back to another commentary. I've noticed that I prefer when I tend to explain more of my actions over the kind of casting commentary that I've done, I think, the last video and maybe a little bit in the one before it. So we're going to try and get back a little bit more to those explanations. So first thing we have here, of course, is just moving in on drone information. I know that's always clear from my pre-placed drone, so we're going to move right on up. And we had a cav called over in Aquarium. So that's the first thing I'm trying to check. As you saw, my teammate's drone moved in, so I figure, you know what, I'm already inside, I should be side up. He does call the cav as still over in Aqua, so I start pushing up, she's trying to push out, and we capitalize on that to kill her easily. At this point, it's just going to be pretty typical map clear and just trying to take some presence. You'll notice that I get very lucky right here with this Valkyrie in the corner. And then you'll see me pre-fire the floor. Both this spot and ultimately where the butt opens up in the other room are very common spots to do vertical play on this site. So whether you've seen it before or not, just, be ready and try and memorize those spots so that you know how to utilize them best. You see at this point I decide to bail out from the top floor because my team pretty much has that under control, and at this point I'm better utilized trying to take off angles and move through other parts of the map to try and take more presence, like we were saying earlier. That's kind of Amaru's thing. Teammate dies in front of me, calls out where from, so I'm able to get the trade very easily. And then another call out right there points out that the guy's coming back in, and it's a very easy cleanup through the wall thanks to the wall hacks. At this point, this is a pretty usual setup you've seen, so the reason I wanted to add this clip to this commentary is actually not because of the angle, because of what happens here. If you notice, I hit someone there, and as far as I can tell, I've just hit them twice. The secret is they're actually downed. The new mechanic, not having the down indicator, actually changes a lot. You feel a lot less confident moving into sight without that information, or at least I do. And you'll see here that it actually completely confuses me at the end of this clip. So, but for the most part, yeah, we just keep moving on like normal. Ying pushes in, and she tries to get a kill here, but it's a warden. So, typical counter. He's not blind. At this point, I push up, and I'm like, okay, well, you know what? If it's a warden, they probably don't have ADS there, so try and get some frags off. First one goes out, and nothing, so I just wait for the corner and kill him, except apparently I downed two people. That frag grenade actually did down him, so, fun win there. This one is included for a very specific reason here. So, that was just a nice shot, which is nice, but watch how I play against this guy. He starts peeking this corner, and all of his bullet tracers are going above this box, which I notice right there. So I say, you know what, I'm just going to hold lower corner, because he's not pre-firing that spot, and just pre-fire him instead. And he actually just peeks right into the bullet for the most part. So, a very easy win for next to no risk, honestly, because I could see where he was shooting. At this point, you're going to notice there's a little delay where we're trying to find the last guy. And he actually makes a very good play of it, considering how late in the round it is. He gets called cash, and I try and throw a C4 while he's rotating from cash to dragon. And sadly don't get him, but it is a good C4 to keep in mind, both for when you're attacking and defending. And at this point, I'm on a really tight corner, so I figure, you know what, I'll just hold it with my shotgun. He tries to plant in the smoke, and it's an easy cleanup. Here we have another good example of how to hold an angle to win a fight very easily. If you notice, what I'm trying to do is keep my body behind the right side of the window from their perspective, and just hold an off angle so that if they move up, or in this case down those stairs, it's very easy to kill them. At that point, now that I know that the Mozzie's still shooting at the window, I do the same exact peek, just kind of slowly moving in until I can see him, and I just get the frag very easy. It's a nice, simple little 2K. I watch as Nomad jumps in there, and I decide, okay, I'm going to try and flank so that I can help her, because the smoke is cutting me off, and it's going to take longer to wait than it would just to run in. Sadly, she gets killed by the Capcan trap there, but we have a lot of sight presence. Mostly thanks to her push in, and also thanks to that switch there. So I have diffuser, and I decide I'm going to go try and push and plant, so I clear the left side of the site with a flash, and I just cover my own movement into sight through the door, and then ping it for the information for teammate, try to get the plant down, and it's a very easy cleanup. Alright, so here we actually have what is essentially a failed ace. And I wanted to include it because I do everything right up until I do the one thing wrong that gets me killed. And I think it's very important to analyze these sorts of rounds, because it could have very easily been an ace if I had just done the one thing right, you know? So it's a good thing to learn from. So let's take, we got that first one right there. I just hear the teammate call-outs, know they're moving in on site, decide to try and come down from upstairs and get a really lucky kill on the guy in the window because I could hear him. That second kill, I waited for the Mazda to start pushing up the hallway so that we could double push. He ended up getting killed, and I at least got the trade. I know that there's a Ying over near showers from a teammate's call-out earlier, so we're going to try and move through some of our own rotate holes just to take the enemy off guard. I know the site better than them, you know? So I start pushing in, I clean up that ace because I heard him in the corner and pre-fired him, and at this point, I now know, okay, so there's still that Ying who was over near showers, and there's a second guy shooting at me there who I know is not Ying from the gun. So we look towards showers first, kill Ying, and then I try and clear where I last saw that guy, and that's the mistake I made.
Oh, he was to my right. Damn it.
So I was worried because they had a drone on the floor there that they were going to call me out anyway.
I knew he was going to have me on drone there.
But what I needed to do is clear right first, and then clear the left side of the room. If I had just looked to the right here, it would have been very simple to clear where he shot me from, and then I could have looked to the left and known that the entire room was either clear or he had to be behind that table. So while a little disappointing, it does at least teach me something. Alright, so in this instance, what I've got actually is a bit of a lesson in being mindful, is I think the best way to put it.
Right there, JP.
So you'll see in a moment here I throw a drone out, because I want to drone these holes that I made in order to make it easier for myself to push in. Very normal siege stuff. But I have vigil pings. That is a bit frightening. Now he could be anywhere. He could be in the site straight ahead, he could be in the hallway, he could be below, so I gotta worry. Now I do know at least about that alibi though. So we're going to pay attention for her, just move up on that kill, secure it easy. At this point, I move out, because I'm being called in box. I know that if that vigil's below, he's going to be probably coming up these red stairs, which he does. He kills a teammate sadly, but I immediately get the trade, and that's an easy cleanup now on one of the hardest ops to lock down at this point. Now we have one guy left, it's a smoke, and as you'll see here, a teammate actually starts calling him out on a drone that we have. So I get free information, free plant down, the teammate can watch and cover my back, and then it's very simple to just win out the round from there because he missed his smokes on the plant. So at this point, it's just us trying to play off the information and spraying through the wall. I think I accidentally killed a cam here in this next spray, but it's still a pretty easy cleanup regardless. Hey, we're back at our normal hookah play on Coastline, but you'll notice a little difference on this one is that I actually don't get the kills I normally do. And the reason I'm including this is because it actually kind of shows how important these island positions can be, even as just a time sink. We're already at 2 minutes left. You're going to notice that these guys are fighting me till pretty close to like a minute and a half or a minute. And that's just less time for them to actually play off of. My team starts picking them apart around us, and you'll watch as pretty much they just have no real options in terms of actually taking hookah from us though. So even though we kind of get pretty even killed, you know, back and forth, at no point do they ever actually have the site control that they need to utilize that properly. You see, like I said, a minute and a half, they're still sending stuff in the site, they're still trying to get in here. They're just probably rotating out now. Ash is below, she destroys my shield, but it's a minute and 15, so that shield's really not super useful at this point. And then this is where it starts to get a bit difficult. They take blue from us, which is probably the most important control that they gain at this juncture of the round. But they never even really utilize that to take up into hookah. They try and pinch us here, but it just doesn't work. They don't know how to get us out of the positions, the power positions that are allowing us to hold site. And it just ends up being a kind of a frag fest at the end here, with a very clean little 2K from me, so we'll just let it play out. Ash still blue. 40 seconds. Located a bomb.
Ash base.
VIP, just you. She's in pool table.
The reason I held that angle, by the way, instead
Oh, yeah,
of
good
worrying
job.
about pool table when my teammate called it, is because if she started to come towards the rotate hole, I would hear her on the right. So this is a really good example of how to play an enemy's angles against them. I'm being very cautious here, just trying to get them to pre-fire at me if they're holding the angle on the door, which clearly they're not. So instead, I hold the pixel on them and just wait for the color to change, pull the trigger, and get a very easy headshot. Now I'm waiting on the shield, and I see that there's a guy behind the glass, so I wait for him to peek. Again, easy headshot. And that's all for today. So until next time, have a good one.